in Arc Raiders, the only voices you really hear come from these characters that are like merchants / quest givers, right? Mm-hmm. I'm thinking, what if every time I went to the gunsmith, she has new lines? Like, I'm not going to her and hearing, I got weapons for sale. I got weapons for sale. You know what I'm saying? I know that it's not going to be like that. Like, I've played the game. It's not like that, right? Mm-hmm. But I'm thinking about if there was a reality where every time I go to this person, she's saying something new. She's saying something different. I feel like that would be really cool. And it's not like, it wouldn't be her saying something that's just like, that's AI generated, like, I guess like the Darth Vader thing in Fortnite. It would still have to be written, right? Because from what I was seeing, it was like a text-to-speech thing. Like someone's writing the dialogue and then they use the AI to generate the whatever, right? Mm-hmm. I feel like that would be cool, but I just... you gotta help me, bro. You gotta help me, bro.
Yeah, gladly. The dialogue that you would get, like, it goes back to like the wide as an ocean, shallow as a puddle argument, right? Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, you would get a bunch of different lines and you might not get a lot of repetition, but how much of the stuff that you would hear from the vendor would actually be like interesting or like add flavor or like feel natural? So there's that idea, right? Let's say you don't care, it's just a vendor, you don't feel like there's any, even if you don't feel like there's a lot of room to inject personality or unique experiences by not using AI to generate vendor voice lines, just the fact that they are relying on a computer to like put those elements into the game that they could have written themselves, just the neglect of creativity, of potential creativity, where there could have been some, even if they choose not to. To me, it's just, it's a shortcut. By utilizing that, they just lower the quality of the experience that they're trying to sell to me.
Two things to that though, right? So one, the dialogue is written. Like it's not a AI written dialogue, right?
Yeah. Well, I thought you were talking about a hypothetical where
in my Baldur's Gate hypothetical, I got fuzzy on that. That's my fault. But in the Arc Raiders idea, I'm thinking about like, you know, in the way that they're using it in their game. They said, I'm pretty sure they said it's text to speech.
Yeah, they've written all the lines. It's just AI voicing it. Yeah.
So if you had someone, so it's written, right? And then the other side of it, the other thing I want to say to that is, I feel like certain things like what the vendor says when I pull up to buy something doesn't need to be like that well crafted unless it was a part of the story. If I talk to the vendor about a quest, then that would be like, you know, that's something that's not going to be a repeated thing. Like she's not repeating the same thing every time there's like, I'm doing a new quest. She'll say something that has to do with that quest. But I feel like the more like the things that you would hear repeated a lot are the things that you would hear when you buy something. Like if you buy some light ammo, it's the unimportant dialogue that I feel like you could do with this text, that this text to speech AI generator whatever could lend itself to. Like,
yeah, I get what you're saying.
Like a person at Embark, like you could have someone at Embark daily coming up with lines for the person to say, like, or weekly coming up with lines for the person to say, and then generating those lines and throwing them in the game. And you don't have to have your voice actress, and I'm not saying this is, I mean, this would be cool if you did in a way or whatever, had your voice actress there all, you know, weekly to come record lines. But in this world where you don't, right, you can't have that, but you do have this. I think that could be cool. Every time I go to this store, they're saying something that was written, but is also different from what I heard yesterday.
A few things to that. I mean, the first thing is that if they wanted to do a thing where they have like different lines every time, which means effort's being put in either way, right? Like if you've got someone that's sitting and writing those lines down and all they have to do is type it in, like that's someone's job. And in my eyes, like that same person could be the person in charge of, like, you know, either like you said, like every week contacting like instead of writing it out, like contacting a voice actor or voice actress. Or, and this I think would just be if we were to take like the situation that you're describing where it's like a vendor who you want to say like different lines every time, while you're developing the game, come up with 100 different lines and then write them all down, and then you get a voice actor and say, okay, we're gonna do 100 lines of this. Like, the effort is being put in either way, right? But I think using AI to do the text to speech stuff goes back to what I was saying earlier, which is like you're taking away like the opportunity for uniqueness and creativity, right? Like, granted, like, it's not something that people are going to think about twice, but just anything that an individual can offer, they're going to bring to that experience. Alongside what I also said, which is that using AI is such a, like, negative point on your game in my eyes and a lot of people's eyes, that the way that I look at it differently when I realize you're using AI detracts from whatever experience you're trying to offer if you had just used like a real person to do that.
Ari has made me see the light again. He has shown me the light again. I am back on the other side.
What can I say?
And because it's funny, I had an idea for an MMO. I still have the idea, and hopefully one day I can make it. But the idea was that some of the quest givers or people that are in the town, like if you play an MMO, there's people in the town you talk to about whatever, like you talk to the blacksmith or whatever. You could have someone kind of like a Disney World situation where you have people that are just, they are the character, like throughout the day. Like if you go to Disney World, there's someone walking around as a character, performing as that character, staying in character. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was thinking, if you were, let me back up. I believe, yes, they could hire someone to come in every week or maybe even every day to perform these lines, to be that character. And if they couldn't do it, then you could, I'm thinking about it like now, like in context of like the world, right? Like this girl who's running this like armory that people are like buying from or whatever, or weapons shop or gun shop, whatever, right? Maybe she's not working every day. Maybe it's Billy working the late shift. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like, because now I'm starting to think about, there's a lot of actors or people that want to be actors that would take that job. Like, hey, we need you to play this character, this merchant in our game for X amount of time. Like, for like, like we need you to come in and just lock in with us for like a few months, or like, you know what I mean? Like,
you got some interesting ideas, Bryce. Bro, you're saying someone's working a day shift as a real-time voice actor.
That would be cool. Like, bro, imagine